The Zalari War Council gathered in their grand chamber, a vast hall filled with the finest minds of their empire. They had done this countless times before, evaluated a species, measured its worth, and decided its fate. Today, humanity was on trial. The data had been compiled, analyzed, and dismissed. A young strategist summarized it in a single sentence. Asterisk, they are primitive. Their technology is centuries behind ours. Their fleets are outdated. Their weapons inefficient. Their biology is fragile, bound by atmosphere, gravity, and temperature. They are not a threat. Asterisk, the chamber murmured in agreement. The Zalari had conquered species far superior to this one. Humanity would be nothing more than another footnote in their empire's history. The Supreme Overseer leaned forward, his voice calm, absolute. Asterisk, then it is decided. Send the ultimatum. Offer them the choice, submission or annihilation. Asterisk, the message was sent across the stars, a cold and calculated demand for surrender. The Zalari expected compliance. Every species before them had bent the knee, recognizing the futility of resistance. Empires had crumbled under this very same demand. Humanity, too, would fall. Minutes turned to hours. The response finally arrived. A single transmission. No lengthy negotiations. No desperate pleas. Just 4 words. Asterisk, we accept your challenge. Asterisk, silence filled the chamber. The Supreme Overseer's tendrils twitched. He turned to his advisors. Asterisk, explain this. Asterisk, confusion spread across the War Council. The analysts recalculated their projections. The generals exchanged uncertain glances. One of them finally spoke hesitantly. Asterisk, they do not appear to be negotiating. They intend to fight. Asterisk, the Supreme Overseer's amusement was evident. Asterisk, then they are fools. Asterisk, the room erupted into cold, hollow laughter. Of all the species to stand against them, it had to be one so ill-equipped for war. The Zalari would strike swiftly, a single overwhelming assault to break their will. Their fleets mobilized, engines roaring as they surged toward human space. This war would be brief, a demonstration of power. It would not require strategy. It would not require caution. It would be a mistake. The Zalari fleet arrived at the edge of human space, an overwhelming armada of warships designed to crush civilizations in a single strike. Their calculations were precise. Humanity would either flee or crumble under the sheer weight of their forces. Either way, this battle would be short. Their first target was a remote human colony. Strategically insignificant, but a perfect example to instill fear. They expected panic. They expected surrender. What they got was silence. No distress signals. No evacuation attempts. Just a single human fleet waiting for them. A fraction of the Zalari's numbers. Outdated ships positioned as if standing their ground. It made no sense. The Zalari commander broadcasted one final warning. Asterisk, your resistance is futile. Surrender, and we will spare those who comply. Asterisk, the human fleet responded by opening fire. The first shots ripped through space, and in that moment, the Zalari realized something was wrong. The human ships did not move like prey. They did not retreat, did not hesitate. They advanced with an aggression the Zalari had never encountered before. Their formations were chaotic, unpredictable. Ships rammed into Zalari cruisers at impossible angles, surviving impacts that should have torn them apart. Human pilots ejected from their vessels, maneuvering through space with thruster packs, boarding enemy ships with terrifying efficiency. The Zalari's technological superiority should have won them the battle, but it was useless against enemies who refused to fight by the rules. Enemy transmissions were intercepted. Tactical orders relayed with a tone that was almost casual, almost amused. A Zalari officer read one aloud. Asterisk, they're still using formation tactics. Cute. Asterisk, panic set in. The Zalari fleet began taking unexpected losses. The humans were fighting as if they had already studied their weaknesses, as if they knew exactly how to dismantle them. The battle raged for hours, far longer than any Zalari engagement before. When the smoke cleared, the humans had not won, but neither had they been defeated. They had survived. A single human transmission was broadcast to the surviving Zalari commanders. Calm, confident, asterisk, this was just round 1. Are you ready for round 2? Asterisk, for the first time in their history, the Zalari hesitated. The Zalari had always believed in war as a calculation: numbers, logistics, firepower. They had never encountered an enemy that fought with something beyond strategy, something irrational, something terrifying. Humanity did not fear them. When the Zalari attempted psychological warfare, it was supposed to be routine. They had broken countless species with broadcasts of their dominance, images of burning cities, intercepted messages of despair, reminders that resistance was futile. It always worked, but humans laughed. Interceptions of their communications revealed something deeply unsettling. Soldiers joked in the face of destruction. Civilians spread mockery instead of fear. Entire human fleets responded to threats with what their analysts labeled as irreverent nonsense. A Zalari officer reviewed the intercepted transmissions. One message stood out, a single sentence, repeated across multiple human ships. Asterisk, you have no idea what you've just done. Asterisk, the Zalari didn't understand. They studied human history, desperate to find a flaw in their assumptions. What they found shook them. Human wars were not about survival. They fought for ideals, for pride, for spite. They waged wars even when defeat was inevitable, pushing forward long after any logical species would have surrendered. And then there were the prisoners. Captured humans should have been a valuable resource, a means of leverage. Instead, they laughed in the face of their captors. They mocked their interrogators, feigned weakness, lied effortlessly. When pressed for military secrets, they shared recipes instead. A captured human, bleeding and restrained, grinned at his captor and whispered, asterisk, you think we're the weak ones. You don't understand what you've started. Asterisk, the Zalari had never encountered an enemy like this. Their war council reconvened in secrecy, the air heavy with something none of them dared name. For the first time in Zalari history, they felt fear. The surrender request was sent, a desperate plea, transmitted across the stars. The Zalari had seen their fleet shattered, their strongholds burned, their strategies dismantled before their eyes. They had underestimated humanity, and now they were on the verge of extinction. Asterisk, we surrender. No more bloodshed. Asterisk, humanity did not respond. The war did not stop. The Zalari retreated, abandoning worlds they once ruled, only to find that humanity did not conquer. They erased. Zalari homeworlds went dark, their colonies silenced. Ships attempting to flee were intercepted. Their crews never heard from again. The humans fought with the precision of machines and the fury of gods. Every battle they won was followed by another, each retaliation more brutal than the last. This was not war anymore. This was punishment. The Supreme Overseer, once confident in the Empire's dominance, now sat alone in a darkened war chamber. The advisors were gone. The war council disbanded. The Empire was dying, and humanity had ensured that no one would come to save it. One final transmission arrived. No demands, no ultimatums, just a voice cold and final. Asterisk, you had your chance. Asterisk, the last Zalari stronghold fell within hours. Their species, once a galactic power, vanished from existence. No records, no survivors, no legacy. And somewhere in the void, a simple truth echoed across the stars. Asterisk, congratulations. You just challenged the deadliest species in the galaxy. And you lost. Asterisk,